Oh, hey, how many fingers am I holding up? The podcast
Oh, hi, I
is
didn't
live.
see you there. Welcome to our live reaction to the 2018 90th Oscars. I'm just going to share this real quick so people can watch it, because everyone's awake now, right?
Yeah, my eyes look so... They look like Forrest Whitaker's eyes. Anyway, yeah, welcome to our Oscar reaction episode. Live. Hello?
One viewer, probably me, watching on my phone.
I'll share it next too.
So, what'd you guys think of those Oscars, huh? Were they the most predictable Oscars that we've seen yet?
They really were. Those were the most predictable Oscars we've seen, I think, since starting this podcast.
So, we made our predictions known on the Oscar prediction episode. But here, Joe, if you look, I marked everything I got right with gold. I marked everything I got wrong with red. I don't have the short films on here, but let me know if you see any red here.
Mike's got a lot of right answers, guys. That's what he's trying to get across right now.
I got one thing wrong, which was the live-action short. I thought DeKalb Elementary was going to win.
Oh,
because Joe told me it was going to win.
Well, I thought
that was the one.
I thought shorts weren't involved in this.
Oh, in mine, no. But I mean, if we're counting them like overall, I got one thing wrong, and that was the what was it? The Silent Girl.
That was the live-action fictitious.
Yeah,
the fiction one. It's fictitious, Mike.
It's not real. It doesn't matter. That was the only one I got wrong. I usually feel like I get like 75% right, and I get thrown for a loop by a bunch of them. So this is my first year doing like the this whole like spreadsheet stat system that wasn't based on experts. It was based on previous awards results. So I feel like I'm going to keep going with that because it worked pretty well this year. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where to start.
Let's start with...
Did we miss anything cool in the first 3 minutes of the Oscars? Because we spent a long time trying to set up Joe's Amazon Fire Stick to play the Oscars.
We did. Our Black Panther review
went a little long.
Went a little longer than we expected. Shout out to Ken, who is in this Thursday's Black Panther review. He also brought to us this shot of a glass of beer that I'm about to establishing shot of beer I'm about to drink from Icarus Brewing. Necessity.
Shout out to Icarus, which won Best Documentary tonight.
Whoa, Ken, how about that foresight, bro? I didn't predict Icarus winning.
But I did.
But Mike did. Did you guys see how many correct things he got?
I got almost all of them.
Hi, Maya Parson. Welcome.
Welcome. You're awake.
I'm not friends with you. I'd like to be.
Shout out to...
Yeah. A little creepy. Is she friends? Do you know Maya?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. Hey, welcome, Maya.
Maybe she's from our new influx of YouTube viewers that have migrated to the Facebook page.
Did you see how our viewers just dropped for a minute? That's just Maya leaving. Yeah, but let's get it started in here.
Shout out to Dan Imperato for lending us his Verizon information to watch the Oscars.
Hey, Maya.
You're a lifesaver.
Maya says, LOL was good.
Was good.
Us Maya, no problem. We're right along with you. Welcome, Maya. We're just about to recap these Oscars, Maya, and you're welcome to join along.
Join us for the ride.
So like Mike said, I led him astray with the best live action short. I predicted DeKalb Elementary would win. And the Silent Child won. Again, I think we said, I am trying not to say this in such an excited voice as I just said, but the most recent school shooting, I believe, was after the Academy finished voting. So, like, again, usually I'm not up for political discussion at the Oscars, but again, I kind of would have liked that. I liked that Jimmy Kimmel said something about like, hey, if you want to say something about like joining their march or whatever, I kind of would have liked to see that win.
There's a lot of that on social media too. People wearing the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas pin in support of that.
Oh, this is fruity.
Oh.
American Pale Ale with
Guanabana
fruit. It's quite fruity. Again, this was brought to us by Ken McIver, who will be joining us on this Thursday's episode, our review of Black Panther.
I'm drinking water because I've switched roles with Joe, who I usually has to drink water and drive home from my apartment from the Oscars. I'm at Joe's apartment drinking water, driving home after this.
But again, our next category, Best Documentary Short. We predicted Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405, and we were correct. Again, you guys can go watch that on YouTube at any time. I definitely recommend you do. I forget exactly who hosted. Again, I should have looked this up. Perhaps Vulture, perhaps I don't remember exactly who did it. For Best Animated Short, Dear
Basketball.
Kobe
Bryant.
I told Mike while we're watching the Oscars, I said this is the equivalent of the Jimmy Rollins like
Subway
commercial. We used to make fun of that in college, like big Philly cheesesteak.
Does Kobe Bryant narrate it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But how does the commercial go?
Yeah. Big Philly cheesesteak. So's out of sight.
I know. I respect that Kobe Bryant's trying to write poetry, but again, it is like that kind of just like George W. Bush painting. Like it's you guys have found your talent.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant's was basketball. George Bush was getting us into wars that we should have never been in the first place. Yes. We've all got, our talents.
George Bush was taking the back seat.
George Bush was letting Dick Cheney make all the decisions. We're all good at something.
Then for Best Foreign Language Film, we had, I guess we predicted Fantastic Woman winning, and A Fantastic Woman did win.
I feel like we didn't make that prediction, or I didn't make that prediction during the prediction episode, but I changed my mind before the end. I feel like I predicted The Square.
Oh, really?
In the prediction episode.
Okay.
Because I didn't know anything about Fantastic Woman, and then reading up on it, leading up to this, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's going to
win. Right. Yeah. And then for Best Documentary Feature, I definitely said Faces and Places was going to win Best Documentary Feature. I think, Mike, you predicted Icarus, and Icarus won. Again, check that on Netflix. It's a really great documentary. Best Animated Feature, I think we both said Coco.
Everybody in the world said Coco.
Was going to win.
But the real thing is that The Boss Baby didn't win.
The Boss Baby was the least likely to win, now that I'm looking at the whole...
As it should be.
It should be.
It should have been least likely to be nominated. We don't live in that world.
I don't want to go into why Lego Batman...
Where was Lego Batman? Where was the Lego movie when that came out as well? While we're talking about Injustice.
They did have Best Original Song, though. They even did a performance.
Awesome,
yeah.
Best the Lonely Island performance.
Yeah. Best Visual Effects. Also, where was Lonely Island's Karate Guy? Best Original Song nomination last year, huh? We lose another viewer. Best Visual Effects.
Nobody cared about Pop Star.
I like to kick it. I'm a
Charles
karate
was a
guy.
fine song.
Kia. For Best Visual Effects, I predicted War for the Planet of the Apes.
I predicted Blade Runner 2049.
And Blade Runner 2049 won. I guess Mike is the better man.
Yeah, that's right.
For Best Sound Mixing and Best Sound Editing, I think we both predicted Dunkirk for both, and Dunkirk won for both. I'm glad we could devalue each of these categories by just lumping them into the
same nominees for each.
Oh, yeah, no, and again...
same presenters for both.
The Academy does the same thing where they lump all these same the movies into both categories. For best song, a true travesty. I think we both predicted Remember Me.
I also thought Remember Me was one of the worst performances of the night.
It was.
Because like Mighty River was great. Stand Up for Something was really good. Mystery's Love was not as good as I wanted it to be, but I was also afraid.
It was like 30 seconds long.
Yeah, it was too short. And then This Is Me was a fucking like bringing down the house performance for most of it. But like Remember Me, which is kind of, I don't know, kind of boring. I'm sure it's a better song in the context of the movie with like great production and everything, but
This Is Me kind of also, I said this to Mike while it was during the more quieter parts, it looked like a Shreds video on YouTube. Like it kind of looked weird.
Yeah, but when she gets to those higher registers, she like really
definitely. When it got more high energy, it got more powerful. And I think it was one of the more powerful performances of the night. Again, I would have loved for Sufjan to be one of the more powerful.
Surf Jam?
I mean,
Sufjan?
Yeah, Sufjan. And again, he had like the powerhouse of everybody in his recording, whatever. I don't know. Like St. Vincent was up there, who hasn't performed with Sufjan since she's made it big and just left Sufjan.
It was a sexually ambitious
Sexually ambitious. Yeah. But best score. I think we both said The Shape of Water, did we?
Yeah,
not?
if it's right, then I said it.
All right, yeah. Then Shape of Water, we both said it, and
I wish I was more wrong tonight because I didn't want everything to win that I predicted that won tonight.
Right, yeah. And, well, I mean, The Shape of Water won.
This one's fine.
Alexander Desplat, he's a good dude. He's done a lot of what else did he did a lot of Wes Anderson, or at least he did Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I think he did
That's
Grand
all I remember.
Budapest as well.
Oh, okay.
Best production design. I think most people predicted Shape of Water for this. Just such a standout production design for that. Just there's very few movies where like besides like the really heavy special effects ones where you're just kind of like, oh yeah, like someone picked out the perfect wallpaper here, someone picked out the perfect location to shoot at, someone picked out just the perfect everything for that movie, so that it was just a complete together concise one. We
even said this during our I said this in our predictions, but we even said this during our Shape of Water episode. We said like we can see this as a best production design winner, no doubt. And again, it won. For bacon
makeup and hairstyling.
For best baking.
They're baking that makeup on.
They're baking that makeup. Yeah, we both predicted Darkest Hour, and it won.
Best film editing. Did you predict? I think everyone predicted Dunkirk, right? It was between Dunkirk and Baby Driver.
Whatever's in the number one slot, I predicted.
Yeah. Oh, okay. These are your selections. Yeah, so Dunkirk won, predicted by both of us. Maybe not happy for Joe.
Yeah. I wasn't a gigantic fan of the editing in Dunkirk, but it won.
It's better than 3 Billboards.
My God, it is. I would have been okay with anybody but 3 Billboards. I, Tanya, Dunkirk, it's not that it had some great editing. I don't know. Let's not get into it. Best costume design. I think we both predicted Phantom Thread, correct? Yes. And Phantom Thread won.
Hollywood likes movies about Hollywood. Costume designers like movies about fashion designers, apparently.
Yeah, who wouldn't want this film to win?
Here we go. Best cinematography, The Deke. Roger Deakins, his 14th nomination, finally comes away with a win. The blue balls are over, Roger.
He's made almost as many films as like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
4 less.
Yeah. Jesus.
Or been nominated, rather. He's made more than.
Oh,
Marvel.
no, yeah, nominated.
Been nominated, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's about time he got his due. I'm just glad to announce Blade Runner 2049 won. Best original screenplay. I think we both predicted Get Out, and Get Out won.
It was tight. It could have gone to 3 Billboards, odds wise, in that category as well. But yeah, actually, that was one of my favorite speeches of the night. Was Jordan Peele for that? I felt like it was composed. It was a good mix of like humor and like importance in that moment.
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't too long. Wasn't too short.
And then for Best Adapted Screenplay, I think we both predicted Call Me By Your Name,
James
and Call Me By Your Name won. Yeah, I think I said to Mike when he was like giving his speech, I was like, it sucks that he had to start off with his speech like, I'm sorry if I take too long. I'm sorry.
I'm very old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that he had to accept an award like the year that we're like, all right, let's give out the shortest speeches this year so you can win a jet ski.
Yeah.
When he's got to like put his cane down, put his Oscar down. He's got to hold onto the microphone just to like stand up there.
That was kind of
old dude.
That jet ski joke was kind of goofy.
I mean, it's for the people at the Oscars, you know. I think they all got a kick out of it. They were all laughing.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actor. I mean, there wasn't really much surprising at the Oscars for us this year, but this was certainly one of the least surprising. Sam Rockwell wins for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. That was the first award given out of the night.
Yeah, really.
I felt like there was, like, I don't know, we were kind of saying this about like the Golden Globes, where like a lot of guys accepted awards and like didn't really give a whole lot of mention to like the movement going on at the time.
Right.
And I feel like that was also sort of the case like with a lot of the speeches that were accepted tonight. Like, I don't know, Sam Rockwell's was kind of very like me, like.
There wasn't a lot of mention of the movement at all.
Yeah.
Really, tonight. Which was a little disturbing.
Well, I mean, they did have the whole, I mean, they didn't focus it on, it was more about representation as a whole. I did like that whole piece with Kumail and Mira Sorvino and with other people. That was pretty nice. But it wasn't specific to the Time's Up movement. Although they did have when Salma Hayek and Ashley Judd, and we couldn't figure out who was in the middle of them. Who was
the middle one, yeah.
Were accepting or presenting, I forget what award that was. That was supposed to be, I think, in...
Oh, definitely. They had a whole piece put together for that. For Best Supporting Actress, we both had Allison Janney, and Allison Janney won. Surprise.
Nothing was this year.
Nothing was really a big surprise.
I would have taken getting some of these awards wrong just to see some of these other people win. Like,
yeah,
no one that I really wanted to win won for the acting awards. Like, I like Allison Janney, but Laurie Metcalf's my clear favorite in that category.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it sucked. I mean, it sucks that there wasn't really a mix-up, really, especially for this next category, Best Actor. We both predicted Gary Oldman, and Gary Oldman won. I didn't take a whole lot of pleasure in winning, or in seeing Gary Oldman win. I don't know. I just would have loved to see. I mean, just because personally, I really didn't. I wasn't super impressed by his performance as much as I was by Timothée Chalamet's performance, Daniel Day-Lewis's performance, especially maybe his last performance, Daniel Kaluuya's performance. The way that the Oscars cut his performance made me like kind of tear up for a moment. Denzel Washington's, I literally commented about how the way that film was cut kind of looked like a TV program compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, sometimes they cut those so horrible. Sometimes they get it right.
Or
But sometimes it's like, what? Why?
It was just a strange. I don't know.
I'm sure he's great in it. It's Denzel. He's acting with I can't remember that director's name.
Maya Parsons says yes. Literally anyone else.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a weird year to give it to Gary Oldman too, because like he's like, at least when we gave it to Casey Affleck, at least like we weren't as, woke to what was really going on. It hadn't become like the forefront of the movement. And I think that in some ways sort of spurred where we got to now, where people are like, why are we giving this award to Casey Affleck, like someone who's done some of these horrible things?
And Gary
Oldman's done some really sinister shit that involves like actual violence against women and children, or involving children. And I don't know, that feels weird in this year where we're like celebrating all this like progression and moving forward to be like, and the best acting award goes to Gary Oldman. Like, I respect the fact that he's been in a lot of iconic roles, and maybe people in Hollywood feel like he's, ready for his due. But I don't know. I don't think this is the year to give it to him, for sure.
Riley says
someone who hasn't really like given.
Riley says Yas Queen. I agree.
He hasn't really paid his penance.
I really didn't have a problem with Gary Oldman, and one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't read his Rolling Stone interview until after we reviewed Darkest Hour, and I really got like this whole other side of him. I mean, did I share that with you? Yeah,
it sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, he kind of says a lot of very like politically incorrect things where I don't know, and they were just. It's a bad scene. I don't want to tell it to you directly, but if you want to look into that, I encourage you to look into that.
It's just, it's one of those things where it's like,
he's just trying to be fucking edgy, and it doesn't come off well.
People can get second chances, but A, this is not the year for people to get their second chances, and B, they have to ask for them first.
Right.
And to my knowledge, Gary Oldman hasn't been like, hey, sorry for that time that I beat my wife with a phone while she was holding my child. Didn't he like beat his second wife? There's just a whole bunch of like shady crap in his past. And when you have like someone like as young and pure and innocent as like Timothée Chalamet in there, or Daniel Day-Lewis, who like in his last performance possibly ever, or Daniel Kaluuya, or even Denzel Washington, like literally anyone else there I would be happy with. Like literally anybody else.
Literally, you had Timmy Tim. Timmy Tim.
Don't look up Timothée Chalamet's
like high
school talent show.
It's so bad, guys.
I feel like it must have been like an inside joke with him and his friends, because he's got like a whole pink costume on. He's got like,
he gives like a rap performance. He basically reenacts like Nicki Minaj. He refers to himself as Timmy Tim.
It looks like something out of like the Fairly Odd Parents or something.
He does. He kind of like uses that like Timmy thing from like South Park, which is weird. Which is a weird thing to do, kind of.
He's also probably like 15.
Oh, most definitely. He's
the videos that I made in high school when I was 15 came out.
Yeah, we've all done some problematic stuff in high school. But yeah.
I guess Maya knows Riley.
Oh, okay. Are you guys actually watching this in the same room? Yeah, but Best Actress went to Frances McDormand. That was something that Mike and I both predicted.
And she did give that. All of her speeches are strange, just because she has like such a neurotic like way of talking about things, where you like, I feel like you can't really follow her train of thought, and she's just kind of like, I'm over here, then I'm over there. And then she did do the kind of cool thing of like asking all the female nominees to stand up in the room from any category, and then saying that going forward to make sure that you have an inclusion rider.
Right.
She said, "Let me leave you with 2 words: inclusion rider." So that was pretty cool.
She used her platform appropriately. Again, we've definitely set our piece on how we feel about 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I mean, you feel I don't want to drag you into like, we think that 3 billboards, but I feel like we had a
I mean, we agree on it's my least favorite of all the Best Picture nominees, and that's even below Darkest Hour.
Right. I mean, it's not that Frances McDormand doesn't give a great performance with what she's given, but yeah.
It was also just jarring. Like they picked such great clips for most of the women in this category. Like
most definitely, yeah.
What was Sally Hawkins' clip? That was I'm assuming it's all sign language, but the one really big sign language scene and that where she's like, he sees me, he wants to see me every day, he smiles to see me, whatever. It's a great scene. That's such a great. They picked the best clip from Margot Robbie, which almost had me in tears again, from Tanya. I don't know why I always say that. I mean, all of Meryl Streep's scenes are great, and Saoirse Ronan. It's hard to pick a perfectly encapsulating scene from Lady Bird, just because it is kind of all over the place in a good way. But then
out of context, a lot of those scenes look weird. Yeah,
but Frances McDormand, they picked the scene with the awful CGI deer.
You pretty, but you ain't her.
Like I don't even.
There's a lot of great scenes she has.
Even if it was like a perfectly animated CGI deer, I still kind of hate that scene in that movie. It does nothing.
I do think she has a lot of great scenes in that film, but that was such a weird one to pick, especially when. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased, but I mean, I think Sally Hawkins should have won, and again. Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was going to tear up during the scene that they picked for her. But yeah.
Was Christopher Nolan second in odds?
Yes.
When did that change?
No.
Oh, this is for director, sorry.
This is for director, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because what's his face wasn't up for this, Martin McDonagh. Yeah, but we both predicted accurately so, Guillermo del Toro winning Best Director for The Shape of Water. I feel like everyone was happy in the room to see him win that award.
Most definitely, yeah.
There was a moment where I think it was when he won Best Director, or maybe it was on Best Picture, and they zoomed in on Greta Gerwig, and you could see her mouthing like, "Oh, I love him." Yeah, he was up there like he's just this big like Hollywood teddy bear that I think everybody loves.
Yeah, no, it was very glad to see him win. I don't know, even though I would have loved to see Jordan Peele or Greta Gerwig win, as I would have loved to see really anybody win. This was such a great category. And then if we want to move over to the biggest award of the night, predicted 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Psych!
I predict Shape of Water, and I was so happy to be right.
I was so happy to be wrong, baby. The Shape of Water won. Let's give it up for the Shape of Water. Oh, man. Can you guys imagine if fucking 3... I'm so sorry you guys...
You would not hear the end of it from us if 3 billboards won.
I'm so sorry if you guys like 3 billboards, but I think I would have fucking lost it if 3 billboards won this award. Jesus, man. It seems now that it's over, it seems like a dream that was a prediction.
I feel similar to how I felt when Avatar was supposed to win. And I was all like, are we taking crazy pills?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, common sense is restored. Where did that prediction come from?
Oh my God, thank God that didn't win.
Dylan McGrath, what's up? Comedy sketch writing 101.
Yeah, that would have been super. I don't know. What a letdown. What a really downer Oscars that would have been if 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri would have won.
I think I still would have rather seen something like Get Out or Lady Bird or even Dunkirk win. I think Get Out or Lady Bird would have been more exciting and more important maybe than Shape of Water winning. I'm still very happy Shape of Water won. It is one of my favorite movies of the year. And I think it also does sort of follow in the trend of Hollywood loves movies about Hollywood, because Shape of Water at its core is kind of about like fall in love with making movies again. Like the cinema is a beautiful, magical place, and let's remember that when we make our movies from now on. So that was kind of cool. Who won things?
Movies won things, Dylan. Yeah, no, it maybe wasn't my favorite film of the year, but my God, it wasn't Three Billboards. And that's what
Hashtag
I can say.
It wasn't Three Billboards.
That movie wasn't great.
Check out our review of it to find out why we didn't like Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
It's problematic. Yeah, but if you're not listening to this live, Mike and I have endured what is one of the lesser storms. I don't even think it has a name, but we've endured some power outages, and Mike was, or we were supposed to release the Handy Awards on Friday, and we both lost power on Friday. And
I've gotten word now that I have power back at my apartment.
Yeah, no, it's Sunday now, and I got power back at 4 a.m. this morning, and I was able to text Mike, and we were able to do a review, our upcoming reviews of Black Panther, Annihilation, and our Oscar review, which you are listening to now. But yeah, we weren't able to push out our Handy Award ceremony.
But I mean, I have power back, so I'll have to be editing it after work this week. So
right, yeah.
Hopefully the Handy Awards will be out Tuesday night, Wednesday night, maybe.
Hopefully when you're listening to this.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully by the time you're listening to this. So stay tuned for those to find out who the real winners are at the Handy Awards. Voted on by you, nominated by us. The award of the people, one might say.
Hopefully with that context, that's why I look like I haven't slept in 8 years.
It's been 8 years.
Oh God, the blackout! It took me whole. Yeah, I can't even really think of anything else that I want to touch on about this Oscar award ceremony. It was quite dull. And I mean,
I liked a lot of the monologues and jokes that Jimmy Kimmel had, but I feel like a lot of the presenters were very awkward. Not a lot of like funny jokes from the presenters. I feel like they used to have like much better written like dialogue for the presenters to sort of have with each other, right. Or jokes that they. I don't know if like they let these people write their own stuff now,
probably not.
Or if they just don't rehearse enough and they're just kind of like, all right, here's the script, and they're reading it for the first time on the teleprompter. Like sometimes it's like hard to believe that these are like professional actors that are presenting some of these awards sometimes.
Yeah. It's hard to even, I don't know, even like the older sort of Billy Crystal Oscars, or it's hard to even, like, even the most recent Billy Crystal Oscars, or the Hugh Jackman ones I enjoyed so much. Like they had like these opening kind of, I mean, again, we might have missed some sort of elaborate opening sketch or something, but I don't think we did. Was it just a monologue?
We did miss like 2 minutes, I think, unless they started a little late.
So, I mean, comment if we missed something large, but I mean, again...
We did hear like 10 minutes of a monologue from Jimmy Kimmel.
There wasn't a gigantic...
There wasn't a lot of production value to this besides them going to the theater across the street with the hot dog gun.
Which I really don't like that kind of trend. I don't like that people have kind of responded to like, well, Ellen took a selfie and, well, Ellen handed out pizzas to the people. It's kind of like, No, I kind of want to see something that's cleverly written and not a fucking talk show gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go for that shit. Like, put some fucking production value into it, Oscars.
The Handies have production value.
No, literally, I was about to say...
You guys will see when they come out. We have skits in the Handies.
The Handies have more production values than the Oscars this year.
They spent most of their time cutting... I do love these, but I don't need the Oscars to see these, like, these kind of... where they cut all the different, like, 100 years of, like, film together. I'm a sucker for those, but I don't need those at the Oscars. And if I'm going to have... maybe one at the Oscars. There was, like, 5 this year at the Oscars.
Well, it's like you can do that, but you can also have sketches. I don't know. Maybe I'm a sucker for sketches.
Or put that, we have the power of social media now. You can release those on social media and not waste time at the actual ceremony watching those. Like, I love those, but it's not really the most entertaining thing there. And, like, I just feel like there used to be so much more, like, sketches, comedy thrown into it, production value. They would, like, make fun of the movies that were sort of on stage being presented awards.
I literally look back, and my most recent favorite host was Hugh Jackman. I think he did like a really great job. Like, he kind of did this almost musical performance, and it was sketch-esque. I don't know, it's kind of sucked since then.
Yeah, and I like Jimmy Kimmel's monologues. I think he's funny as a host, but maybe he doesn't work so well with the producers in terms of imagining what the Oscars could be production value-wise. I'm interested to see where the numbers are viewers-wise, because wasn't last year down viewers-wise?
Yeah, I think so. Riley says, can you shoot hot dogs out of a cannon at the Handies too? Unfortunately, we don't do that at this year's Handies.
We don't stoop to that lowest common denominator.
I'm so sad that Armie Hammer has to stoop to shooting a hot dog cannon.
He'll do whatever it takes to be a star now.
Look at him in his maroon velvet suit. He looked perfect. How do you mess up a guy like that? You can't. He looks perfect no matter what you dress him in. I would have liked to see a higher production value than just it's the Ellen show, and this is what they're doing.
An extended version of Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Right. It's kind of...
Is that what his show is called?
Across the street right now, they think they're watching a new trailer to the... Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
No, they were watching the actual movie.
Did they think...
Wrinkle in Time.
Did they actually think that?
They were actually watching. They were in the middle of watching it.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, and they interrupted it to do the Oscars thing.
A Wrinkle in Time was one of my favorite books as a kid.
You have actually read it?
I couldn't be less excited for this movie.
Oh, I'm actively not looking forward to it.
It looks so... Me and Saber are in the theaters, and we saw what is her name? Is her name actually Kelly Kapowski?
No, Mindy Kaling.
Yes. It's not. Mindy Kaling, like, running with
about to bring that scene up.
running across the field with, like, what looks like Pokemon Go kind of, like, creatures. And I was just like, and me and Saber, like, it's not a comedic part of that trailer, but, like, we, like, just started literally laughing out loud. We're just like, so stupid looking. And, like, I've read A Wrinkle in Time 3 or 4 times. It's a really fantastic novel for children, especially for children who enjoy sci-fi and everything. It's like a hard sci-fi children's novel, and I don't know how they get whatever is happening in that trailer from the novel. It's truly, I was like, I don't recognize any of this.
It's like Avatar meets like
Pokemon. It's like I don't get it. Besides the what's his name as the dad, trapped.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pine trapped in there, and them explaining kind of like the actual wrinkle in time and everything. Besides that, I I know Oprah's character, but I'm like, that's not a big part of this. Like, it's just weird. It's bizarre.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Stay tuned for our Wrinkle in Time review when that comes out and we're forced to watch it.
Oh, I'm shit on that movie.
We're going back into like, we had like a nice respite from blockbuster big Hollywood movies with the Oscars, and now we're back into...
Back in the shit. We're back in the shit, man.
We're back in the shit. That's the promo for How Many Fingers 2018.
I don't want to say that so much, but
we had 2 all right movies so far. We have a review of Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an awful movie. And then we have Annihilation, which is at least an interesting movie to watch and talk about. It's not the usual March, February fodder.
Well, we've dodged most of that fodder by just reviewing Oscar movies during these 3 months. But yeah, those were the Oscars of 2018.
So this is the last sort of thing we're recording for the film year 2017. We're officially putting the nail in that casket of 2017.
Not a coffin.
So thanks for watching everything we put out this year. Thanks for liking it, commenting on it, sharing it, showing it to your friends, Riley and Maya.
I mean, we haven't even really talked about, again, I don't want to extend this episode any longer than it needs to be, but a special shout out to all of the newer people who have joined us from our Call Me By Your Name review on YouTube. I personally kind of didn't take YouTube seriously until this review, which has
you mean as a vehicle for...
Yeah, I mean, I just never thought about ourselves as YouTubers, really. And then all of a sudden, Maya, thank you. Again, if you found us through YouTube, there's so many new people who have found us through YouTube, and I'm so thankful for that vehicle, because I'm a gigantic fan of YouTube myself. I just, again, we've been trying to appeal to the more podcast thing, but I mean, now we're kind of opening up. We're like, fuck, man, it might not be a YouTube thing, or it might not be a podcast thing as much anymore as it is a YouTube thing. I mean, like, we're just going to have to give that as equal attention.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, wow, we got such a gigantic response to the Call Me By Your Name video, and I'm forever grateful of everybody who not only watched it. We had such a gigantic amount of people who watched that review, but there was so much of a response, and it was really great.
The conversation is great. That's really what we got into this podcast for. Is obviously we like talking about movies, but that's not just us talking to each other. We like talking to you guys about movies. So always feel free on any episode, on any post, to continue the conversation with us about what movies you enjoyed, the movie we're reviewing, movies you want us to review, your favorite movies from the past. I mean, we like talking about movies. We like talking to you guys. So talk to us, comment with us, converse with us. That's our hope for 2018. So thanks so much for watching this year. Thanks for watching tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna close this one out. I'm gonna drive home to my apartment that now has power.
Looks like Rowan just
Rowan joined. Go to sleep. We have heat. You can sleep comfortably now. So thanks so much for everything this year, guys. Good Oscars. Goodness won instead of 3 billboards.
Yeah. That's really all that mattered to me about this Oscars.
Yeah. That was actually the one thing. That was the one thing that I was unsure of, because it could have gone either way on that one, and I had a sinking feeling in my gut, like, we got a good one last year with Moonlight. 3 Billboards is probably going to win this year, but I still predicted Shape of Water, and I was right, and it won. Anyway, I'm droning on here.
I was right.
I was right,
and it won. Again, if you want to join, I'm sure we'll get more into it. Again, we're about to start an entire
season.
Nothing has entirely changed, but Mike and I would like to think that we started in a new season of this show because we're starting to review films of 2018. So again, if you would like to join into the conversation, like Maya looks like she has via Facebook. She's found us through YouTube and has come onto our Facebook presence.
Did she say she found us through YouTube?
Yeah, when we were talking about YouTube and we were talking about people who said thank you, like she said you are welcome. During our whole YouTube,
I think she was responding to. Never mind. I think she's a friend of Riley's.
Oh, okay. Well, then
she was responding to us thanking Riley for telling a friend.
Let's just pretend Maya's one of those people who found us through YouTube. I mean, again, this is going to go on YouTube.
Maybe Riley directed her to the YouTube.
This is going to go on YouTube to all of us, to all of our new founders who found it. Okay, everybody who found us on YouTube, I just want to apologize
for what you're watching right now.
For all the beers that I've drank.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sure it's something we'll get to later in this season, but we are opening a discussion on Facebook. Not only can you like us at How Many Fingers Am I Holding Up, the podcast, it's a page where you can be updated on all of our new episodes and really anything that's happening in this podcast. But we also have How Many Fingers Am I Holding Up? The Facebook group is the title. And we're about to start a whole lot of conversations on that. And if you'd like to hear your conversations verbalized on some of our newer episodes, that's where Mike and I are going to be drawing from a lot.
It's a cool place where you can just share articles, share anything that has to...
Nothing Riley is just like she's talking to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's going to be a cool place where you can just share anything that has to do with film. A song from a movie, a trailer for a new movie, an article about a hot take on a new movie, your review of a movie, your podcast about a movie. Not too much promotion because it is our podcast group, but we also won't be slamming you in that group with promotion either. We just want a place that discussion can be heard about film, a safe space for all of us to talk about film that's inclusive and fun, and just film nerds can abound. So join us there. How Many Fingers Am I Holding Up? The Facebook group. Like our page, How Many Fingers Am I Holding Up? The podcast, which you obviously are already liking if you're watching this video. And boy, we have been droning on for a while now. You ready to get
48 minutes. Hasn't been that long. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you guys. I mean, again, we're going to be present on this page and we'll respond to everything. So, again, go on it. Let's fucking talk. Let's continue this conversation.
How many fingers?
Because we're about to end this conversation between you and I.
How many fingers? 2018. Yeah. Let's fucking talk.
Let's talk.
Let's fucking talk.
Let's talk, man.
Thanks so much, guys. Good night.